Friday, April 4th was a big day for TikTok. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order for an extension for another 75 days in the US, meaning until June 16th, we still have access to doom scroll all day. I mean, market our products and sell them on the TikTok shop. The kicker? This is a direct result of the new tariffs on China, but not in the way that you might think. More on that a little bit later. So, what can we expect? Do we need to prepare in any way? Stick around and we'll cover that and a lot more. This announcement just came in one day prior to the original TikTok extension deadline on April 5th. According to Donald Trump, in a post he wrote on Truth Social, "My administration has been working very hard on a deal to save TikTok. And we have made tremendous progress. The deal requires more work to ensure all necessary approvals are signed." Up until this point, him and Vice President JD Vance have been saying they are very, very close to a deal, and there should in fact be a deal made by the original deadline on April 5th. A deal that would ultimately sell TikTok to an American company. So why sign an executive order for an extension? What happened to the deal that was already in the works? Well, from the looks of it, sources say that there was already a complete deal made. The deal was ready and finalized. It was actually finalized on Wednesday, April 2nd. And by the end of the week, there was supposed to be a totally different executive order that would have started a 120-day period to finish the official paperwork and all of the financing needed to finish and seal the deal. This would have seen a number of private equity firms, tech giants, and venture capitalists invest into the company that would be controlling TikTok's US operations, ultimately leaving ByteDance, TikTok's China-based owner, with a 20% stake in the new spin-off company. Interestingly enough, the deal also mentioned that the new US TikTok app would not and could not be on par with ByteDance and the original algorithm or the data sharing practices, meaning it's most likely going to be a completely different algorithm, which is interesting because this actually changes up the entire game, how it shows our videos to a different audience and what we see on the platform. So what happened? Well, Trump rolled out his new tariff plans, and that derailed absolutely everything. Both new and existing TikTok investors, ByteDance, and the entire Trump administration were ready to make this deal happen. But because Trump and his team decided to impose an additional 34% tariff on China, totaling a whopping 54%, China said, no, we're backing out of this. We got to rethink and we need to talk about this. Now, it's not just the tariffs that could have played into this. No. Another thing that potentially added fuel to the fire was the fact that the de minimis exception, the saving grace for all dropshippers, was stripped. This means that anything that comes into the US from China will require the full wrath of Trump's tariffs. You heard right. Anything that comes into the US from China, regardless of the price, that includes my wife's Shein dresses, the nightstand she ordered from Temu, the LED dog collar that your customer just ordered from your store, and you're sourcing from a Chinese supplier on AliExpress, also those products from your Chinese suppliers' US warehouses. Those are also going to be hit with a 54% tariff because even though it's stored and shipped from the US, the Chinese company that owns that US warehouse is importing it from their factory. Because of the newly implemented tariffs, China decided to back out of the deal until they could negotiate the new tariffs. So while we're currently seeing a 54% increase, this could in fact change sooner or later to accommodate a signed TikTok deal. Sources also say that Trump believes that China backing out of the deal will ultimately mean that two countries will negotiate on TikTok tariffs. Because of the framework for the deal is already done and the tariffs now need to be negotiated alongside them. This was a quote from NBC News, which kind of makes all of this sound like it might have been on purpose on the Trump administration's part, using tariffs as a type of chokehold to get China to seal a better deal. Who knows? Of course, this was not admitted by the president himself. Instead, he just wrote it off as pretty much saying more details need to be hashed out, pretty much leaving us in the dark as to what's really going on. Trump continues to say that he hopes to continue working in good faith with China and that they pretty much want TikTok to stay in the US and they don't want it to go dark again. He comes off as optimistic about reaching a deal in his posts, so we'll see what happens in the next 75 days. Of course, if you want to stay updated with everything that goes on in the dropshipping world and everything that revolves around it, like TikTok and TikTok Shop, then make sure to subscribe to stay updated with all the latest news, tips, and tricks to succeed in your e-commerce business. So what would a US ran TikTok algorithm potentially look like? No clue. But one thing is certain, it will be vastly different than the one we currently have. Since they don't want the algorithm to work with or connect with the original Chinese algorithm, we can only expect for the new US TikTok to be potentially a bit like IG Reels or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts. Again, this is just speculation. Another thing that could affect us is our reach. It very well could be that we won't have access to a broader reach as we have had up until now. We might be limited to a more US-based audience. Is this a problem? Probably not if you're focused on just dropshipping in the US, but if you dropship in other countries, then it could potentially cause an issue with marketing and reach on the platform. But again, none of this is certain and all speculation, since no details have been unveiled. Now, what can we do in the meantime? What should we be doing to prepare for a new TikTok algorithm, or in the worst case scenario, a TikTok blackout or ban? First off, don't panic. For the next 75 days, we need to stay vigilant, go with the flow, and adapt to any changes that may come our way. Remember, we're all in this together. We all want to succeed in our business, and that's what us here at AutoDS are here to do, to help you succeed. So for one, diversify. We say this all the time, but now it's more important than ever. If you're still only dropshipping on TikTok Shop, diversify your platforms. Opening up an eBay store is completely free. And so is starting up a dropshipping store on Amazon. Shopify always has a promotion going on, so you can also get started on dropshipping on Shopify for pretty cheap. We have tons of different guides and videos that can guide you through the entire process. So what if you can't set up your own dropshipping website because it's a lot of work or too complicated? Well, again, we got you. AutoDS has a library of niched AI-made dropshipping stores that you can get set up in less than 5 minutes. All already include winning and trending dropshipping products. If you're only marketing on TikTok, running ads, or simply with organic marketing, then that also needs to start diversifying as well. It costs nothing to download your videos and cross-post to other platforms like IG Reels, YouTube Shorts, or Facebook Reels. You should already be doing this either way. There's absolutely no reason why you should only be posting on TikTok. If you want to download your videos for free, just use the app that I use. It's called snaptik.app, and it'll be linked down in the description below in case you want to check it out. It's completely free, and you can download your TikTok videos with no watermark and in HD. So how about our suppliers? If tariffs do in fact stay at 54%, how are we going to stay in the profit zone and at the very least on par with our competition? This is something we're going to have to keep an eye out for. At the current standing, and again, it can very well change in a couple of days, weeks, or months, as we loom closer to the TikTok and tariff negotiations, we can implement a price increase of at least 50%. Now, this may seem harsh, and it may seem like people won't be buying our products anymore because of that big price increase, but that's not entirely true. Or at least there's other workarounds as well that we can use or implement to stay profitable. Like I mentioned, everyone is being affected, not just you. So price increases can be seen across the board through all the different dropshipping stores out there. Another option you have is to keep an eye on your suppliers' prices and then adjust your pricing based on theirs. So for example, if you notice a week from now, your supplier raises their prices by a certain percentage or a dollar amount, you can do the same. Now, this may seem like a lot of work, and honestly, it can be, but there are tools that can help you simplify and automate this for you. One of them being AutoDS's price monitoring feature. This feature helps you stay in the profit zone no matter what changes your suppliers make to their pricing. It tracks and monitors suppliers' pricing and adjusts your prices based on factors or parameters that you set. So if your supplier raises their prices by, 10%, then you can set the system to automatically do the same. Or raise it by 12%, or maybe a little bit less. That's really up to you. But ultimately, the peace of mind will be there. The peace of mind that even if and when your suppliers raise their prices, you won't be losing money when you get an order. So what are you planning to do now that the TikTok deadline has been extended and these new tariffs have been thrown into the mix? It's a pretty big curveball. Let me know your plan down in the comments below. Also, be sure to subscribe to stay updated with any and all new developing news in the dropshipping world, along with some of the best tips and tricks to help you succeed. Like this video if you found it helpful or informational in any way, shape, or form. And with that, my name is Mario with AutoDS, and I'll catch y'all next time.